Hey y'all, my name is Chris. I just wanted to do a video blog of my experience with the spinal fusion and kind of take an objective look at it. Um, if you're considering having the procedure, it can be really disheartening to look online and see the blogs and and discussion boards full of all sorts of people who are had either an unsuccessful procedure or they're still having lots of pain. So I figured I'd just briefly tell my story, and I kind of want to just go through the rundown of why I decided to have the procedure. Um, I started having back pain somewhere consistently between 5 to 10 years ago, and I give a range because I don't think I was really listening to my body, and kept doing activities that were probably really harmful for it. And over the past 2 years, I started to have it daily, and for the most part, I could manage it. But the one thing I consistently noticed was, I can't lay on my back at all on any surface without my back going into spasm pretty quickly, and that's gotten worse. And then I went back from a trip out west where I did some snowboarding, and just that was maybe 6 months ago, and noticed that things were really different. There was something majorly wrong, to the point where the only place I could sleep was on the couch, and mainly on my sides. My major symptoms are pretty bad back pain, especially when I wake up, and spasms, which is the kind of cardinal feature. The back pain for me is manageable because I could get it to go away, or reduce almost all the way, after I did anywhere between 1 to 2 hours of workout in the morning. But the spasms would be with me all day, and then because I work in a healthcare setting and I spend a lot of times on concrete floors, I would just see that pain and spasms come back in a direct fashion to how long I spent working. So that progressed. I did a chiropractor for about 12 sessions, which made kind of all my other pain, aside from this pain right smack in the middle of my back, better, including my neck pain, and it was good to have somebody to talk to. He's a great guy, and I'll probably continue to use his services when I'm fully healed. I did physical therapy, which really helped strengthen some other areas, but still that pain was pretty consistent and continued to worsen. I did a steroid shot into my epidural space, and that helped slightly, but I had about a week of symptoms where I was about as depressed as I've ever been, very tearful. I had insomnia, constipation, and I decided I was never going to do that again. I think the steroids probably went systemic, because I have eczema, sometimes very badly on my ankle and my back, and that cleared up completely. It was the best 3 months for my eczema that I've ever had. That's the pain pump. Um, I was diagnosed with a large herniated disc between L5-S1. About 50% of that herniated into my spinal canal. I had somewhere between 50% to 2/3 height loss of that disc between those areas. some small compression of the dorsal root on the right, minimal compression on the left, and then some mild compression of the thecal sac. So there's one blessing through this entire experience. It's that I just didn't have bad radiculopathy, so I was able to still work. So that was a real blessing. So anyway, I went to several orthopedic spine surgeons. Tried to get into one place, but they took way too long. By the time I got into the place I thought I would initially have surgery, I actually canceled the appointments because I had 2 appointments with two other orthopedic spine surgeons, and that's each. I found a surgeon who I thought made a great case towards his approach, and he also, really, he told me the truth about what was going to happen and what approach would probably be the best for me. I spent over 100 hours on Google Scholar, which is not Google. Google Scholar is a site where you can look up information from scientific journals, and that is available to anyone. But I spent over 100 hours looking at my diagnosis, which was ultimately moderate to severe degenerative disc disease with mild stepwise retrolesthesis. I'll put a picture up if I can of the bottom half of L5, which is also a form of spondylolisthesis. And then I went to this doctor, and he laid out a really good plan. Probably going to end the first video there and pick up, so this isn't a huge upload.